what's your take on the gun situation?
Oh, I think that
You want to ban all guns, or
I just don't think you need one unless you. Yeah, I just don't think you need them. Like, there's plenty of countries like all over the world that are able to handle situations without guns, and I feel like we could do the same.
do you think? So, what law would you want to take guns from people forcibly, or what do we do with all the guns that are out there?
No, I mean, I think there'd be some kind of like exchange. You can maybe have them bring in for some kind of like tax benefit or something that could help benefit the community. More like an incentive.
Do you think that would work with the gun people?
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a bit to try.
You kind of have to repeal the Second Amendment too, because
Oh yeah.
So you want to do that as well?
I don't think I would want to do that. I mean, I think there's just like certain guns that you wouldn't need, like assault rifles and stuff like that. I mean, there's outdoor enthusiasts, who have shotguns and things like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would want to like.
The strange thing to me is, we're out here kind of protesting mass shootings, but 80% of mass shootings are done with handguns. You think most people are aware of that?
I don't know.
And actually, knives kill about 5 times more people than rifles do.
Yeah.
I don't think people know that either, but nobody's trying to ban knives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think there's is this more of an emotional reaction or like a kind of a factual look at the laws and the state of the country?
I don't know. I think it's just a wake-up call. There is like a lot of things that the Parkland students have like actually brought up. That's like we don't need certain guns in our environment, and they're kind of like built to actually kill people. There's certain guns that like the bump stocks and things like that, and I don't think we just need that.
All right, man. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, that's cool. What are you guys doing this for?
It's called Weekly Narrative. We're just kind of out here talking to people, trying to start some discussions and see what's up. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, you guys doing good work. Thanks.
The sign is very crafty. I like the index card. Look.
Thank you.
So what is the message that you're trying to send out here today?
I definitely think that assault weapons don't belong anywhere other than the war zones. And I don't think arming teachers is the answer.
Do you think we should have guards on campuses, like resource officers or cops with guns on campus?
I think until we can get some better change, I think that that's at least a temporary solution. Like I said, until there can be some bigger environmental changes in gun laws, then I think that we got to do something to protect our kids.
What kind of laws do you think we need to pass?
What kind of laws do I think we can pass now?
Like, what can we do to take a step in the right direction?
Well, like I said, I definitely think that I don't think that there's a place for assault weapons in the environment other than in the war zones. So they should be illegal in my point of view.
It's like AR-15s.
What's that?
AR-15s is kind of what you're referring to?
Yep.
So what about the 80% of mass shootings actually happen with handguns? Do you think that eventually we should go for those too, or?
I'm sure that's. I think that there's probably room for that. I think the statistics today that they were talking about, when original handguns, you could kill 4 people in 1 minute, and now, 1 minute you can get 45 or whatever. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, again, I'm not necessarily against the Second Amendment or against having guns, but I just feel strongly about these high-powered assault weapons that just don't seem like they have a place.
No, we just saw bombings happen in Austin this last week. Even if we banned all guns, you would still see attacks like that happening. Is it possible that we could see bombs starting to come up on campuses? Like, do you think the guns is the root of the issue?
I definitely hear you, and I think that, bombs can be it too. I think that, I guess we got to just take each one as they come. So.
Baby steps?
Baby steps.
What is the message behind your sign there?
That Americans are dying and their blood is on Congress's hands.
What can, so it's Congress's fault that the shooting in Parkland happened? Is that kind of the message?
It's their fault for not regulating guns to prevent shootings like that from happening again, yeah.
Now, there was a shooting in Maryland that happened last week. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but the kid was 17, so it was already illegal for him to get that gun, but he still somehow got it.
I thought it was his dad's gun that was legally owned.
Right, so the point is that there's other ways for them to get these guns, and do you think it's ever going to be possible to really stop them from getting guns one way or another?
Just because it's not possible to prevent every single person from getting a gun doesn't mean we should try and make it harder for most people to get guns.
So I like the emoji. That's
Who are
very
you guys
cool.
with?
We're with Weekly Narrative.
What's that?
It's a classical liberal media outlet on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
Okay.
all over. We're just kind of out here to have a discussion, seeing what people think about, what the situation with the guns and what we can do to stop this. Are you a teacher?
No, I'm not a teacher,
Okay.
but I know plenty of people who are.
What do they have any? What's their ideas for how we can kind of get this epidemic under control?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
There we go. Okay, so we got. Can you go through that list for me?
So no arms for teachers, because as I've outlined on the front, it's just a money-making scam. Mostly what I wanted to do with this sign is just kind of poke a hole in this solution that arming all teachers will protect kids. It doesn't protect anybody. It protects the NRA's money, and it protects their power. So that's the purpose of the sign.
Gotcha.
And so on the back, no arms for teachers, ban on assault weapons, and stricter gun access.
Okay. So we want to, as AR-15s, I take it, is that kind of what you're going for with the assault
Yes.
weapons thing?
Yes.
Now, functionally, it's pretty similar to most hunting rifles. Do we want to get rid of those as well?
Hunting rifles?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just like the black, like military style looking ones, that's what we want to get rid of?
Yes, military grade weapons.
Gotcha, okay. Now, most people actually don't know this, but 80% of mass shootings happen with handguns. It's kind of a surprising statistic. Do you think that eventually we need to go for those as well?
Well, so this is just the beginning, because more people get shot with handguns than in mass shootings.
Or exactly.
Right. So that's why I want to suggest stricter gun access.
So it's baby steps. We want to eventually get rid of handguns as well.
We want to make it harder for people to get their hands on handguns.
One more question for you. Maryland just had a school shooting last week where a 17-year-old was able to get a gun, and he shot 2 people. Luckily, they didn't die. But there was a resource officer on the campus, and he was able to stop that shooting by shooting the assailant. That kid, it was already illegal in very many ways for that kid to own or purchase or obtain a gun. And all those laws failed. So do you think that these laws are really going to help? If a criminal wants to obtain a weapon, do you think they'll still be able to get one somehow?
Yes, they will, but we don't have to make it easy for them. We can make it a whole lot harder.
I like this sign. I like your sign. Can I ask you about your sign? We're just kind of going around starting up discussions with people. So your sign says, "America is great when we fight Nazis, not kids." I agree. Are we still fighting Nazis today? Is that kind of what the message is of your sign?
Well, the white supremacist movement is very disturbing, and what has happened with the shootings and with blaming the kids afterwards was terrible. So,
They're blaming the kids for the shooting?
Yes.
What are they saying?
Saying
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing. So
I've heard that. So I'm not sure. So by saying fighting the kids, we're kind of blaming the kids. That's what you mean by that?
yes.
I gotcha. Okay. So you hinted at white supremacists. Is that something that we're actively fighting too right now, or we're not focusing on the white supremacists as much as the kids, or where are we at there?
Well, it's a shot at Trump mainly.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. And that his refusal to condemn the white supremacist movement, saying that they're good people on both sides, bullshit. So
Gotcha. Okay, so we need to fight the Nazis.
yes.
Awesome.
Nazis. Yeah.
Got it. All right.
The gun
You feel safe at school? You don't feel. Oh, you feel unsafe at school.
Right.
Okay. What do you think we can do to try to fix that?
Probably like.
You want your teacher to have a gun?
No, I definitely don't want that. I don't want the teacher to have a gun at the waist and talking to me. And
Are you marching or just walking?
We're just walking.
Just walking?
Yeah.
What do you think about the situation here?
I think this is just. I think it's right. I think it's good.
You guys from
Yeah,
Australia?
No, England.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
I think when you don't have like a sort of quintessentially English accent,
Yeah.
I think so.
I only heard you say like 2 words, so I kind of guessed, but yeah. I can tell now you very definitely sound English. But okay, and you guys got any opinions on what's going on here compared to maybe your home country?
Yeah, I think what's here is sensible. I think it's kind of ridiculous coming over here as sort of an observer, as a foreigner. Like this is for us, it's just complete normality. And coming over here and seeing this is just like it's almost kind of ridiculous that it's even a question, or
Yeah.
it's even a debate that's happening. I don't think this protest should be happening, because it just should be, guns absolutely shouldn't be anywhere near, or people, you can't trust people with guns, right?
Right.
For every, there's always going to be stupid people. If you
Yeah.
give those people access to guns, so I don't know the specifics of how easy it is to get a gun in America, but
Yeah. It's not that easy. But people, I mean, it actually is really easy for people to get guns illegally. Most of our gun crime here happens with guns that weren't purchased by the actual assailant.
Well, talking about Australia, that seems like a really good example, because obviously they had a school shooting and then the guns were gone, and then they haven't had one since then. And they just changed the law, and that kind of solved the problem.
Yeah,
I think
the idea that even the sort of the fact that people very high up are arguing for teachers to be given guns is it's a really scary new normal.
I mean, it feels like there's a very simple solution, but for some reason, I don't know. Again, I don't know the specifics about the NRA and the lobby, the power they have within government, but it seems there's an extremely simple solution. But why that isn't being put forward, and why isn't being passed?
There's a lot. Second Amendment, man. People are rabid about the Second Amendment here.
I know, but when kids are dying, man, you know what I mean?
Well, gun violence is down overall. I think we're moving in the right direction, but I think some people think a utopia is possible where we can get zero gun shootings. You know what I mean?
I think one really strong argument is that obviously that law is 200 years old now, and the guns are the weapons that we're using are now 200 years in advance from back then. So that
I've heard that one.
When you could only do so much damage.
I mean, they had cannons back then.
Just subtly wield
legalize cannons. You could take out 10 people with one shot. All right, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
And this is the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what that says.
So it's kind of a socialist point of view on things.
Now, this is what these people are talking about. You donate to the NRA, or you accept donations from the NRA, your history, you're out of here. We don't want you anymore. We want some reasonable gun control. And if you can't provide it, and you had all these years in office, and all you've done is let kids and other people get killed, hey, no, forget that. You're gone. You're gone.
What's the relationship
And
to?
as you mentioned earlier, it's to 2018 elections all over the United States. So they're going to have to listen up, because these people aren't going to give up. It's like the students in the beginning of the Vietnam War protest, okay? They were killing kids then, and now they're still killing kids and making a profit.
Who's profiting?
Congress and at home and abroad. Weapon makers profit. People die.
Well, that's a little loaded, isn't it? Let's be fair. So, I mean,
hey, you got dead people.
I know.
Don't tell me what's fair.
Knives kill more people than rifles, though. Are the knife manufacturers profiting off of death too?
I'm not going there.
See what I mean, though? It's a little loaded.
I'm not going there. Like I said, those people sandbagged me before. Now, you guys trying to sandbag me?
I'm just responding to your.
I know, you're just kidding.
I'm an avid hunter. I hunt in Nevada, Idaho, Montana, and it's time that we. And the only rifle you need is a bolt action if you're hunting. I mean, you want something accurate. Assault rifles are only accurate to about 50 yards, maybe 75.
So by assault rifle, you mean semi-automatic?
Semi-automatics generally are to that level, and so my elk are 500 yards. So I'm out to hunt. I harvest the animal, and I eat everything I harvest. Not a trophy hunter, but we need reform, and there's ways of starting it, and I have a message, and I'm carrying this message all the way to the November election.
Got it. Well, one question that I especially with, the people say they want to ban assault weapons, but most mass shootings actually happen with handguns. If it's mass shootings that we're aiming at stopping, do you think that handguns are next on the list? Are we going to go for those eventually? Are we going to have to, because most mass shootings are a result of handgun use?
That's accurate. We do see the handguns as a weapon of defense, and of course it's become a weapon of offense. Yeah. And you don't need a 14-round clip in a gun. Handgun, semi-automatic, any of those.
So I'm trying to whittle it down to exactly what the end goal is. So if we want,
The end goal is that you need to be, it isn't the gun, it's the individual. We need to license the individual just like we license someone driving a car. And you have my flyer, that is my message, and that's going to every representative in every state and every senator, and we will get this message in November. And if you accept money from the NRA, you won't be accepting our votes.
awesome. Anything else you want to say?
I want to thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to present my message.
Thank you. We're just
Thank
out
you,
here to
people.
start a discussion. Appreciate
Let's
it.
do it. Thank you.
I'm pretty confident in my safety. I mean, I don't need a gun to protect myself because I have my buddy Hitler.
Hitler, as in Trump, or?
Yeah, I want to play in a little hypocrisy.
So we're gonna, yeah. I mean, I've thought of that as well. You know, everyone calls Trump Hitler, but then they want to give all their guns up to Trump, right?
And ask him to write legislation to take them.
Right. So you're pointing out the irony in that? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. And another irony, if you're talking about a police force that is largely racist, you're also forcing minority communities to only rely on them to protect themselves.
That's a good point. So I take it you're kind of against the whole general message of this movement out here today, or?
Yeah, I came out here on my own, made a sign.
That's cool. So you're not for gun control, is what I'm saying.
No.
Cool. Well, does anybody even understand that sign? Do they get the irony, or do they just kind of look at it and be like, oh yeah, Hitler's bad?
Sometimes, I mean, you understood it, but every once in a while I get somebody coming up talking to me.
No idea.
Understand it.
That's the best sign I've seen today. There's a comedian, his name's Owen Benjamin, and he made a video basically saying exactly what you said.
And give our guns to Hitler.
Got to give our guns up to Hitler.
The millennials' innate biological intelligence had superseded any other genius in any other generation ever before. That Mother Nature said, help, save the planet, okay. We need smart people to save the planet, therefore I'm going to give you the brains to do it.
Interesting. I haven't heard that theory before.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen.